everybody, and welcome back to another Rockabilly 1950s rock and roll guitar lesson. Today I present to you the Chuck Berry special. It's about time. Ever since I started playing guitar, I wanted to learn the intro to Johnny B. Good, and I think many of you felt the same. And I never dreamed of even coming even close to what Chuck Berry played, but then about, 20 years later, I mastered the intro and the solo from Johnny B. Good. But this is not included in the Chuck Berry special. We have 3 songs: School Day, Roll Over Beethoven, and Maybellene. It's hard to overestimate the influence he had on my playing. I saw them the first time in 1992, in the summer of 1992, together with Jerry Lee Lewis and the German Ted Herold, the German rock and roll legend. And then about 6 years later, I found my first Chuck Berry 78. Maybellene, 25 cents in a record store in Los Angeles. Well, it plays like 50 cents. Yeah. But since then, I played many Chuck Berry songs in my sets, and I love his playing, and I saw him a few times play live, and yeah, I really enjoyed his showmanship. I show you the solos from the 3 mentioned songs here on YouTube, but if you want to learn the whole song from start to finish, intro, outro, solo, and everything in between, and also have access to the tabs and the jam tracks in 4 different tempos, then you have 2 options. You can go to my web shop, link is in the description below, or you can become a patron and support me there. This is where you can also find all the files. This Chuck Berry special is brought to you by Emerald Records, and I just received the new album, the Emerald Records Hit Parade of Stars. At least the CDs are here already. For vinyl lovers, you have to be patient for another 2 weeks, then I will pick up the vinyl LPs myself from the pressing plant. This album features the great Jason Starday, Dylan Kirk, Humpty Dumpty, Axel Prevka aka Cherry Casino, and myself, and together we recorded a great variety of songs, some piano rock and roll, straight rockabilly, doo-wop, harmony songs, even a ballad, so something for everybody. You can get it in my web shop, of course. The link is in the description below. If you enjoy the content here on my channel, then please leave a like, share the videos with your friends, and if you haven't done yet, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you never miss a lesson like this one. Here's the Chuck Berry special. The solo from School Day starts right after round and round and round you go. So we start with 2 bars of G, and they are played before the actual 12-bar blues begins. Yeah, we slide from the G chord here on the B and G string into the G7, 3 frets up, starting on one end. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And a similar slide, but we start here on the 5th and 6th fret. And these are the first 2 bars. Then we continue like this. So this time the slide is faster, like this. And we play. Same slide again. And then the last bar in this row. What we got so far is this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. I know it can be a little confusing, all the repetitions here. Well, that's typical Chuck Berry. Then the next 2 bars, we're doing exactly the same here. And then the chord progression moves to the C chord, and we just move up 2 frets here. So this would be the C chord, yeah, coming from this chord shape. So we play. And and then we go back into the G in the next row. So one more time, what we play over C. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And the 7th and the 5th fret here on the B and G string. Then back to G. Let's stop here. So this is just a G chord. And then we rake the top 3 strings like this. And then continuing in this bar. Let me repeat these 2 bars. Starting on 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And the next bar goes like this. One more time. And then we play. And then the last bar. And then the 5th verse starts. And now I will repeat the whole solo at half the speed of the original. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Roll Over Beethoven is in the key of E flat, and in the solo, Chuck Berry hits quite a few notes accidentally, some open strings, the E and the G string here. I didn't write them all down. I wrote it down how I think Chuck Berry intended to play this solo. So just be aware when you play to the original and it sounds a little different to what I wrote down here, then it's probably due to the open strings. Like in the beginning when he slides into the 11th fret, you hear the open E string ringing at the same time, and I'm not sure if that's was on purpose. Yeah? One more time, the first 2 bars, starting on 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Here, when you have the chord, the E flat, you rake down, and you want to keep all the notes short, yeah? And then there's a pull-off from 14 to 13. Then the next 2 bars, we have the same bendings that we have already in the intro. And what we got so far is this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Then in the second row, continuing with the bendings and double stops. Let's stop here. One more time, the first 3 bars of the second row. And then you start a run that goes like this. start on one end. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Then you rake down the chord again. Let me play you the last part again. And then at the end you hear the open E string once again. If you want to put it in, be free. And now I will play the whole solo to the metronome at 90 beats per minute, which is half the speed of the original. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. As I mentioned when I taught you the intro and outro of Maybellene, the song is in the key of B flat, and here the solo is played over two 12-bar blues patterns, and you can divide the solo in two parts. In the first part he takes one phrase and repeats it over and over, just alters it a little bit, which is then hard to memorize, and this is typical Chuck Berry. He does that in a lot of solos. Basically you just play one note, just on two different strings, the F on the 6th fret of the B string, and then you band up the 9th fret of the G string until you get to the F as well. So I will play the first row of the solo to the metronome at half the speed of the original, which is 115 beats per minute. And I hope that way you can catch the rhythm. It's still hard to replicate and to memorize, but I hope you get it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then in the second row, still the same pattern, the same riff. And again, different timing. This time we start on 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just at the end, he plays. This is when you get two other notes, the 6th fret on the E string and the 9th on the B string. Well, one more time the second row, and then I play everything we got so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'll repeat the first two rows of the solo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then in the next row he uses the 8th fret. Then continuing. One more time, these 3 bars. And then essentially the second part of the solo starts. And here you move to the 10th fret to play. This is the B flat chord here in the C shape. or D shape, however you want to call or see it. One more time. And again, this part, starting on one end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Then you return to the 6th and 8th fret here to play. So let's break this down. You start here on the D string, and then I move both strings up, the G and the B string, and I use my ring finger and my pinky, but I saw people using just the ring finger, but I guess mine is just not strong enough. So one more time, this part here. And then continuing in the next row. And then the last part. Now I will repeat the whole second part to the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And now let's play the whole solo to the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.